Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. This is a pilot for a new series that's a random card design challenge. I am joined by Beard. How's it going, Beard?
Just fine. How about you?
I'm pretty great. This has been a good stream so far, and I think the good vibes are going to continue here. In this challenge, Beard and I are going to take a random piece of art, and we're going to design a card around that art. So this is our card here. That's just called Blood Magic. And we're going to use this as inspiration for this card here. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but if you like this video, let me know, because as I mentioned in my resolutions, 2025 is the year of exploring custom content, and maybe that includes just making things as well for custom content. So, what is this card like? What do you immediately get ideas for the direction that this card could go?
Well, immediately, it seems to suggest damage or health in some capacity.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
I'm still thinking,
so
like, it seems like we want to make this a mystic card.
Yes, I'm with you on that as well. My thought is, this is actually some sort of tutor effect for allies, because he's drawing the face of a guy. That's what my gut tells me when I first see this one. That it's like ally related as well. Like you're finding this old man from your deck using blood magic.
Or you have used an ally to do something else.
Yes, that's another alternative as well, for sure. Interesting.
Like Lucas said, ritual may be the way to go with it, just to make it just not more spells and more spells.
Yeah. All right, so I got Strange Eons here. Let's make a new card. I think I'm going to just start. I think we start with an event, right? I feel like that's... This reads event to me. Does it feel the same to you?
It reads like a one-time thing. It's not something you're going to be doing every round.
Yes, all right. Okay, let me just switch from this into that, and then you get this nice fancy thing. So we're going to call this Random Design 1. All right, I'll get the art in here, because that's a good way for us to at least see this. Let's make this a little bit bigger, just because then we can see like the hand a little bit smaller now. Just get it looking all nice for all of you at home. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I'm with you as well that this probably should be in the Mystic class. This is just a Mystic kind of day. But 1 second, I just need to see how it looks in the Survivor frame. Oh yeah, that looks nice. But yeah, it's got to be Mystic. I think it has to be Mystic. Okay. All right. I also, Ritual, easy place to start too, right? All right. So I think we both are in agreement that this card has to do something with damage, like self-damage or damaging something of your own. This is a sacrifice card, right?
Yeah. So maybe something like... Should it be like a search effect? Mm-hmm. Or even like discarding cards from your deck. And you can take damage to search or discard extra.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, because I can't shake this old man in the art either, obviously because he's in the art. So I like the idea of also sacrificing, like hurting your allies, right? Like some like David Renfield synergy, like a payoff to that as well.
Yeah.
The old man looks like a seeker. Play this card, deal 2 damage to a seeker investigator at your location.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Get those guys out of here. I'm also just going to look at Blood Eclipse too, because that's going to kind of...
we've got a lock on this old man. Wait, it was Trish?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be your sound. Wait a minute. It was Trish the whole time and we did all that blood magic? All right. I'm just going to do a working title. We'll just call this like blood spell just because then we can full name stuff. An easy thing to put in. So we have some avenues we can go, right? As an additional cost to play full name, take 1 to 3 damage, right? Like we go like the blood eclipse way, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just cause to play deal
It's
deal
like
to
take 1 to 3 damage, one of which must be assigned to an ally asset if able.
Yeah. There's also something we could do like this. Ally asset you control. And then it can be like search the top 3 cards of your deck for each damage dealt. Like it could be something like that too, right? Like we go like something like that. But like obviously like better formatting, but this could be a way we could go.
Or it could just be straight damage for damage, like deal damage to an ally to deal damage to an enemy.
Yeah. It could be, yeah, you're using the blood to do that. The thing for me is that this art, I mean, like I guess it is like a ritual, but it feels more like a setup spell. Just the way the art is, right? Like it feels like someone's doing something. There's not like the stress of having enemies around. That's just like my vibe. I'm not against it, obviously, but like that's
no,
just like
what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
All right, so this is a nice. Sorry, you go.
I was just trying to think of like, it's almost like you're marking something for the future. Like name a card. When you draw that card, something happens.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh my. Okay. All right, that is an interesting idea. What if this was? All right, let me just try this as an asset with this idea. You might have just triggered something.
I think it could still be like an event because there's a couple events that are just like put it into play in your play area.
All right, so let's just say put play area and name an ally asset. And then it can be like when you draw named the named asset, put it into play and deal it like 1 or 2 damage. Is there anything there? As an idea?
Yeah, I think that's getting there. You definitely have to be careful of which allies you run because you.
Yes. Like I guess the idea is that you play this in like a rogue and you just are like sacrificing Leo DeLuca slightly to play him for free.
Yeah, that would be powerful. Or just name Arcane Initiate. It goes into play, does its effect, and then immediately dies.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I should write area and not R. Put Bloodspell into play in your play area and name an ally asset. When you draw a named asset, put into play and deal it 1 damage.
I think effects like this also say deal 1 direct damage to that ally.
Yeah. Okay. And deal 1 direct damage to that ally. And this probably should be forced, right? Because you made the ritual. You have to. It is binding.
Yep.
That's another thing. What if it searches for an ally, puts it in play, but kills it over time? Kind of like the Rot Wand, but like you get a like. That's an interesting,
I don't
interesting
know, there's a lot
idea
of options.
with like Jessica Hyde, you know? Find her, see if you can outrace it. I like that more than awkwardly waiting to draw it. Yeah, there's that little thing too, right? Where like you have to then find it. But I mean, like the idea is that an effect like this to put like a 4 or 5 cost ally into play seems kind of nuts. But it is right. It is kind of just like awkwardly waiting to find it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also, like discard cards from the top of your deck to like speed up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe while it's in your play area, you can like exhaust it to discard the top card of your deck and speed up getting to that.
Yeah, that's why maybe it's cleaner to do it as an asset too if we do that. Why don't we explore that? I think that's...
True, but then you discard it when it's done?
Yeah, I think so. We can just see. We can just see. Like, we don't have to marry anything yet. We're just trying some stuff out. Okay, let me get that art in there again. It just helps. So. I don't know if this is the wording for it, but we're just going to get this out there. Draw. Here, I'll just take that text. This might be too much. But we can at least get these things out here to see. Exhaust.
That's another avenue Overmeddled is working with there. So I can see something like put into play when your deck runs out, choose a card in your discard pile and play it.
Okay.
But that wouldn't have much interplay with the damage thing.
Yeah. Let's make line break. Actually draw a named ally. So it could be like something like this to kind of fit like a little bit more than just waiting. Helps you find it as well. All right, so like what if we leave the kind of summoning the ally thing, and what are other avenues we can explore? Like, I like the whole still idea of deal. I think, are you in agreement that this should deal damage to an ally? I think that's kind of a little bit more interesting than deal damage to yourself.
Yeah, targeting the ally seems to be the more interesting facet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess the question is, if we're dealing damage to an ally, we can do it for multiple reasons. One of which is to kill that ally, right?
Yeah,
that's something that Mystics like to do.
In the Renfields.
Yeah. Most allies in the Mystic class, what's their health like? That's another question we should ask. So why don't we just open up... I have Arkham build here still, right? Yeah. Give me this. And I want to look at ally. And just give me assets. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. So a lot of them are ones. Because I was thinking like two, like what if, how many allies have more than one damage you want to bring in? a lot. If they're free, a lot. But what if, like, it deals 1 damage for an effect, but if they survive, like, you also get an effect, right? I don't know. Because, like, I feel like just using it to kill an ally...
Sorry, thinking.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking too. But that's what makes this fun. It's a live design, everyone watching at home. We're doing this live.
Yeah, like, attach it to the ally and deal direct damage to him. And then, like, at the end of the round, if it's still in play, then this card discards and something else happens.
Yeah? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's play with that. 2 and...
Because you definitely can use it to just kill something off, but making it useful for things that you don't want to just instantly kill.
Yeah.
Because that would also get rid of the waiting part there. You just...
Yeah. And then it's like, if that ally survived...
Or just have something trigger at the end of the round, because if it died, this thing will leave play automatically.
But do we want this to be something that would that trigger every round then, or is it just when it's played?
Well, I think like, attach it. If it leaves play, then nothing. You don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the round, there's a forced effect that's good, and then this discards itself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It leaves the ally in play.
End of the round. Yeah. Positive effect and discard.
I think for a level 0 card, it's fine for it to be take an action to do it.
Yeah, and we can see what the effect...
But if you want to up the level, then that's another conversation.
Yeah. So now they control and deal at 1 direct damage. I always have a hard time with player cards. I just, like, can't design them. My idea, like, I actually found some old design files I had for a player card cycle, and I was just like, oh, these just are, like, so... I'm just like, they don't work for me.
If it makes you feel any better, that happens for me too. I'll look back at stuff I made like 4 or 5 years ago and go, did I know what game balance was back then?
Yeah, because that's the thing too, that I'm also just like, because to me, like, here is the card I would play. It would be like, draw 3 cards. That's what I would ship. That is the exact thing that I would print right now, because I'm just like, that's just a good card. That's a card I would play. I would love to play this card. It's like, I'm not really good at, like, designing outside of, at least for player cards, like that spike sensibility of mine, where I'm just like, yeah, I would love just to draw 3 cards. Yeah, it's a level 0 sacrifice. Like, that's kind of what it is, right? But, like, you can only use it on people who don't die, right?
Yeah. I think if you're putting it in your deck with 1 health allies, you want them to die.
It could be like this, right? Attached to it, deal a direct damage, draw 1 card, right? And then this one could be draw 2 cards, so then if it lives, you draw 3, right? It's like kind of those things where, like, it scales if it survives, right? So, like, it replaces itself otherwise. But then, like, the idea is that if you, like, use it on a David to make him stronger, you can just use it as a draw 3.
I don't think what other beneficial effects there could be. Maybe that could trigger damage to an enemy at the end of the round.
Yep. What about the flip side? If it's more powerful where they die? No, because there's so many that are just like so easy to kill. I think it being harder to trigger positively is probably better.
It doesn't help you get the ally into play either, so you have to pay more up front for an ally that'll probably survive.
Sacrifice is barely played though. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it's very close to sacrifice with at least this current idea. But I mean, like, sorry, again, we're not settled on the card. That's just like what my gut does. Like, I'm like, I want card advantage, right? So like we're not settled on the cards. That's just like, again, like what I first think. So I'm trying to think of like what could be even more interesting to kind of go with this. I mean, like, we could also Swift it, right? Where it's like this. Deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location, right? At the end of the round, deal 2 damage to an enemy at your location. It could be something like that, right?
Yeah, making it like a delayed spectral razor.
Yep. I think that could be kind of neat to explore as well. I think I kind of like the design where it's like the first one does like the minor effect and then like the major effect if they survive, right?
What about, let's see, I'm just trying to think of functionality, because if there's enemies in play that you want dead, you're probably not going to play this because they're a problem that needs to be immediately solved. So why not have this trigger at the end of the Mythos phase instead?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. So, like, you could, like, evade the... Like, it actually kind of works the same, right? Where, like, my intention was that you use this to evade an enemy, right? And then, like, deal it at the end of the round. But the same thing applies for the Mythos phase. It's kind of like it's like an alternate form of the Disc of Itzamna, right?
Yeah.
I think that's honestly. I like this card. I actually think this is a pretty cool idea.
When did I say moving damage from the ally?
I don't know. I don't think you did. What about attacks opportunities? Yeah. What about them? It's like to what Beard said for in favor of not moving. That was the thing.
Okay,
yeah.
I misinterpreted that. Okay.
What's that one card? That explosive ward. It's a fight spell. Oh, this action does not provoke tax opportunity for that.
Yeah.
Should it care about causing them? I don't think so. I mean, we could do like this, right? Because it is a damage spell. Like, it could be like that, right? Does this need to be forced, or does that just happen?
That does need to be a forced effect, yeah.
Yeah. Like, we could go like that, because then it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. I mean, I think this is actually kind of sweet.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, I think I would definitely play this card in the right decks. Can there be a bold fight? There can, but I personally don't like that. So it's hard to do all three to the same guy, right? No, it actually is super easy. You can just evade him.
Don't kill him.
Yeah, as long as he's not dead. You can just evade him. I feel like you need to keep him through the enemy phase. Yeah. I don't think I want to put parlay on it. It doesn't really feel like a parlay. You're not really like interacting with anybody. You're just like you're like taking David Renfield's life force.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Sucking the soul of that guy in his bed was somehow
Yeah,
Partly.
yeah. That, that's we have thoughts on that over here at PBG.
I have opinions that I do not need to voice right now.
Yeah.
So I think this is pretty good.
I think so.
What are we thinking for a cost? Because
Yeah. My gut says 1. Just
I was
because
thinking 1 too, because for 2, that's that Spectral Razor dealing with the problem right now.
Yeah.
Whereas this you have to kind of plan for.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be 0. I don't think it should be 0. I think 0 is too much. I think too little and 2 is too much.
1 it is.
And icons, I'm actually fine to just explosive ward this and just give it 2 punch icons.
I was going to say 1 punch, but 2 punch works for me.
I think I like that, having like these kind of like these spells that are a little bit like explosive ward, where it's a little bit like not 100% of the time. Just having it as an overpower is nice, I think. All right, and we're not calling it blood spell, so what should we call it?
Let's see.
Renfield Blast. Oh, Ritual and Blood sounds kind of sick. Yeah.
Ritual and Blood's good.
That's a good one we can leave for now, see if there's other things that show up. Sanguimancy. I mean, yeah, it's pretty sick. The control of blood, yeah.
Maybe just something like Blood Price.
Blood Price, yeah. I think Sanguimancy's kind of sick.
Yeah, Sanguimancy does seem like a banger.
Yeah. And I actually think this card is... I mean, in my first pass, I do think that this is actually kind of playable, too. Like, split... I feel like this works best in, like, someone like... Safina or like Dexter as well, where you can like you're gonna like be evading enemies and kind of keeping them down that way. But I love the idea of potentially like even like Gloria being able to like get enemies through the Mythos phase. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
I do think this probably could be a spell. Like it could be a spell too, because I think getting this off Arcane Initiate ain't terrible. Are there rituals that are also spells, or are they kind of like separate?
Let me check.
Because I do think that in this current state, this is probably fine to tutor out. Astute says there's a couple, and I trust Astute. He is the trait master.
Yep, it looks like Seal of the Seventh Sign is both spell and ritual.
We could also go like spell and pact, right? Instead of ritual. Because I will say right now, looking at ritual and spell kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Why not ritual and pact?
All 3, why not? Because you gotta limit life. Yeah, I could do ritual and pact. I think that works fine. Is it pact and rituals? Do they usually do alphabetical?
I think the trait rules are kind of weird because, like, you'd go alphabetically, except you always put elite at the end.
Which I do think is probably the right choice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing my custom campaign. All right, I think Sanguimancy is kind of sick. It's really
don't
nice.
Forget the artist credit.
Oh right, yes. What's the artist again? It's
just A shipwright. A is like an abbreviated, so A period shipwright.
Yeah. A shipwright. Perfect. The nice thing about the Arkham Horror card pool right now is that you can actually look at things and see like, oh, this is like a Spectral Razor, but it's not as good as Spectral Razor, so it should probably cost a little bit less than Spectral Razor. So like that's kind of
neat. It's because of the cards that are like the community overall has deemed as good and worth playing. Mm-hmm. You can kind of compare it to those just to get a baseline.
Yeah. definitely. This was a fun little exercise, though. I like what it ended up turning into, and I think like the idea of having it split between the two was very this could have been like, I think this is an effect that could like just kind of also be like something that happens, right? Like I could see like different versions of this as well. I think it's a good card. I think it's a nice design.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how it's turned out.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to see more of this, definitely let us know in the comments down below, because we will do more. And thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.